How about when we done? How about when we done? You just update your computer. How about that?
You said what?
How about when we're done? You just update your computer.
I'm 100% gonna do that.
We got a reminder.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. But we are live. How you feeling today? Since you got another show already to do.
Tired, boss. I'm tired.
I'm tired, boss. I'm
But
tired.
it's back.
I'm good. You know what's crazy? Like, so Chicago's actually on the same time zone as me, Central Time. But I feel like since I've been back home, like time has just been different for some reason. Like it feels later than what it is. Like I don't know why.
I ain't gonna lie, I needed a couple days. After y'all left. It was like them early mornings and then late nights, too many nights in a row. I was like, yeah. Like Sunday, I was cooked. Sunday night, I was so cooked. On Saturday. On Sunday night, I was cooked. Man, I fell asleep in the middle of the day on the couch. The spot that low took over on my.
I don't know about that sitting on the couch real well,
bro. I'm not gonna hold you. That spot, perfect. Like I know that's where all the game action goes. Like that spot was perfect for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely why I park it when I be watching games. Sure, I'm definitely in that spot of the couch watching games. Definitely. For sure. Hey, but before we get started, I got list
a little bit, Jay.
Oh, yeah, turn it up a little bit.
No mind. Is that louder?
Yeah.
It's good.
Lo, I need you to I'm pretty sure you already talked about this already since you're so busy, but can you let us know how you really feel about Portillo's?
Nah, bro. Listen, Portillo's was crack in the 80s, okay? Like, man, that chocolate cake shake. Like, the food was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when your friend told me, when you take one sip, it's like a taste of diabetes. And this is a shout out to everybody that has diabetes. I'm not even trying to make fun of that.
She ain't trying to make fun of you.
I needed to try it. Like when she told me that, I had to try it. And I'm so glad I did. Everything was fire. Like I got a double bacon cheeseburger. Jillian got what's the stuff that you dip? What was that? The Italian?
Oh, that's the Italian beef. That's what they cook it in.
Bro, we didn't. Okay, so we didn't get the fully dipped. We got the salt. We got the dip on the side. So we were just dip. Man, what? Didn't have a bad feel when I was in Chicago.
See, there we go.
Chicago.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you about the food for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. You only scratch the surface, but you gotta be a real. Like I can't even get my beef dipped because I don't like that soggy ass bread like that. Because like Raina will get her shit dipped like that, but I would just dip it into the juice.
So she'll get her whole thing dipped.
Yeah.
Oh man.
My pops get the whole damn thing dipped.
So the bread be soggy then.
So this is how you supposed to do it. Back in like how it was. Like,
I can't hear it. It sounds low.
You go. How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
I would say like I moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want had to. But like my dad, like so back in the day when you had them places like Portillo's or the beef spots, so you would dip it like some places be like extra dip it heavy. So you can't even sit down, like you'll stand up over a counter and eat it like that. That's how you like. So like certain places, like when y'all come back, I'm gonna take you to some other places, not like the normal place people go to come visit. Now y'all been here. Now we're gonna take you.
I'm for sure going to Portillo's when I come back though. I'm 100% going there.
If you like the chocolate cake shit, you definitely going back. But if you like type of food, is other places that's better than Portillo's for sure. Because he sold it. Mr. Portillo sold it now, so it's not all the same at each one. They're starting to be franchised a lot more since he got older. I'm glad y'all enjoyed all the food.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Had the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza was good. The pizza was really, really good. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Jess Pizza, man. Now that pizza at your house, bro.
Beggars pizza.
I kept going back. I'm like, hey, plus we all know why I was going back.
Listen, one thing I will say is that Jay realized this weekend that me and Nick can eat. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
we can certainly eat. Like, I'm not shy by any means.
No, she's definitely not. And if y'all didn't see the last
chicken wings
episode,
was fire, bro.
where get chicken wings from?
Snappers.
Oh, red snapper. Yes. With the crack dust on it.
Said they cracked us.
That's what we call it here too, because it's like hip hop.
The crack dust.
Crack.
I'm just glad that y'all enjoyed everything for real. Y'all was really y'all really made yourself comfortable. Low definitely.
Bro, I 110%. Like once I'm at somebody's house for like 5 minutes, like because that's how I want people to be at my house. So I guess I just assimilate. When I feel comfortable, I feel comfortable.
Once they told you once they said get comfortable on the couch for the pod, that was your spot for the rest of the night.
Literally, the rest of the night. Was pissed when I had to stand up to play Heads Up. I had fun playing, but I was pissed I had to get up because then Julian going to squirm over in my spot.
Julian, I hope you win.
Shout out to Julian. Dog. Julian, man, it was dope to meet her over the weekend, man. I would say you busting your ass at Jay's house. Got to be the crazy thing. I was literally standing right there next to her. We were watching the game. Next, I see her on the ground. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I'm just like, oh my god, bro.
Oh, I thought Maverick jumped over the couch.
That's what I thought.
They had the same color. Yeah, I thought they had the same color on. So at the corner of my I'm so glad she didn't break nothing. I thought she was gonna break the computer, the wall, something.
Look, he didn't even say a bone.
Ain't worried about that.
He's like, screw that. Let's screw that. As long as we all got a hole in the wall.
Well, that's gonna shut down the whole night. You know what I'm saying? That's really
that would have changed the trajectory of the night. You're correct.
Oh,
I wonder what she did though. Like that's the thing. Like
nobody knows.
I wouldn't she just. I don't actually. One thing I will say, your floors are slippery. Your floors are very slippery. I ain't gonna lie about that. So that's probably what happened. She probably got too excited. Next thing you know, fell back. That's crazy.
I keep shoes on a lot of times. Everybody has that. But man, I didn't even address nobody when we came in. Episode 10. Episode 10.
Episode 10.
We are 10 episodes in. First episode of October, man. September got
bro, 2020 is almost over, bro. It's wild.
It is, man. But first episode of October, man. The best damn W show. I'm sorry, we just been talking. Fouling in. I see you, big baby. You always showing us.
Shout out, big baby.
What's up, big baby?
Y'all see, we our favorite trio. Me, Nick, Lo. What's happening?
Shout out to the 9450 in here too. Appreciate
you. 50 up in here. What's happening?
50.
Checking out the show. And that's Lo's other show. But y'all don't know. Others don't know. That's Lo's other show.
Nick, is it going in and out when Jay is speaking?
Yeah, but it's only because I think it's because he's moving around.
That's because I'm moving. When I started going like this,
once he's like in front of the mic, he's good.
Yeah.
Just make sure it wasn't me. My computer.
No, you good. No, we know about all those.
It's actually good right now. Her computer is still running.
Yeah, but you still gonna update. You're still gonna update.
Oh no, I am. Look, Jay will be somebody that's so bad. Like, Nick, you still gonna update? Okay, Dad.
I'll be on Raina. You ain't update your phone, your computer, nothing.
Yo, shout out to Raina, man. Raina cool too, man. Raina was trash talking me on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? She was challenging me a lot, man. But yo, shout out to Raina, man. She's super dope.
Yeah, shout out to her. I couldn't be like I am, but one for her for sure.
So you gotta have that strong black woman standing beside you, man.
You saw you saw her being a wife, a mama.
Yeah.
You definitely saw that.
Woo. Listen, you got to, man.
You definitely. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yo, she got 3 boys, so
yeah,
tough.
She don't play around with that shit. But
you can't though, because you're raising, black young men. So as y'all both know, it's hard growing up as a black young boy. So she has to instill those things in them now.
Yes, for sure.
Dog, I miss Chicago. I ain't gonna lie.
And we'll come back soon. I mean, about to start. The fall is cool, but the summer, y'all gonna need like 4 days, 5 days in the summer. Logan had to bring Xavier next time.
Facts.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna have to.
Not with the way she's gonna be getting drunk.
Oh, excuse me. I was on vacation. Okay, I was not a mother. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Garcon. Let me get another one. Garcon. Let me get another one.
Like, let's edit that part out.
All right.
All right, because y'all not about to have.
All right, we gonna go with the breaking news of today.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Tanisha Wright has been dismissed as head coach of the Atlanta Dream. 3 seasons with the organization. This past year went 15-25. They ended up making the playoffs, but you know, I mean, we all agree this was kind of coming. You know, I personally I don't hate Tanisha Wright like a lot of other people do. There are some questions that I do have for her as far as being a head coach and her decision making, but at the end of the day, you know, I give her some credit because Atlanta was kind of a rebuilding team, and then of course, you know, when she got there, then that was the same year that Ryan got there. Then, you know, once those two came in together, that was pretty much the turning point for the organization. Made the playoffs last year, and then this year. So I know that this year was a very up and down year for Atlanta, especially with all the injuries and everything. And then of course, Coach T has something to do with that as well. I think as far as with coaching, but I think the Dream are in a cool situation. I'm not going to say that they're in a bad situation right now, even though they did kind of digress from last year. But I'm really interested to see, you know, who they pick as their next head coach. I'm hoping that it's Teaspoon. That's my personal pick, but who knows? We'll see.
What about you, Lo?
You know what? This is for my girl Tanisha. I'm a drink for her.
Ginger ale.
That is not ginger ale.
Oh, I thought it was ginger. I saw ginger. I thought it was okay. No, it's not.
Okay, great. Shout out to Tanisha. Tanisha Wright. You know what? In all seriousness, I think that Tanisha had a difficult task, right? I think that it's hard being a head coach. And I think that she underperformed based on the talent that she had. When you have Ryan Howard, when you have Alicia Gray, when you have Cheyenne Parker, who was an all-star last year, then you added Tina Charles, and you also added JC this year. You should not have been the 8th seed. I'm sorry. Like, regardless of injuries or not, like, I just think that they had enough talent on that roster to be better. But instead, the things that I don't agree with Tanisha about is her inability to adjust during the game, forcing Haley Jones to play point guard for God knows how long, inconsistent and inefficient in her lineups, and just not able to get the most out of each player. Like a coach like, and this is no slight to Tanisha, but a coach like hell, even Teresa Weatherspoon, a coach even like her can get her players to run through a wall for her. You see them all speak highly of her. Not saying that they speak down on Tanisha, but I think it's a certain type of coach that some players need that is going to get them amped to play. Like, it shouldn't be that case, but that is the case. And I just feel like she lost the locker room. I feel like this isn't the end of her coaching. I think that she can go back to being like an assistant coach, and I think that she'll thrive in that role. But I think head coaching in Atlanta was a little bit too much for her during this tenure. I never want to see someone that looks like me, especially a Black woman in this league, to lose her job. So I'm not happy that she lost her job. I know I've called for it many times before, but that's just emotional, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm never happy to see someone be unemployed and not able to feed your family. And especially in a league where Black women are not well represented in regards to coaching, right? We only have one Black coach now, Noelle Quinn. That's it. That's it. So it's far and few between spots for Black women to be coaches. So I was always rooting from her from that standpoint. But I think as far as of like an Atlanta or Dream organizational standpoint, I think they made the right move. Like, she has to go. Just this team is way too talented to be the 8th seed. Period. And they barely got that. Like, they were competing for the 8th seed with teams that are literally trying to rebuild. The Mystics, which who God knows what they are trying to do, but also the Sparks. Like, we know that they are purposely trying to rebuild. So the fact that they are literally in that same conversation with those bottom tier teams is a problem when they have that type of talent on that roster.
What do you think she did? What she was doing wrong?
It's kind of like what Lo was saying, failure to adjust, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
not being able to be effective on defense. And on top of that, like, it's kind of like what Lo said, like me watching damn near every Dream game this year, there was a lot of stretches where they just could not score. Like, even like there was a game that they played against Washington. They had a great start in the first quarter. I think they had like 25 points. And then the second quarter, they didn't score another field goal to like a minute left before halftime, which was crazy.
Right.
So they just have these, they just have these droughts where they just can't score for some reason. And, it's like we say, the injuries obviously were there. Starting the season without Jordan Canada was big. Ryan had missed time as well. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus ended up being sidelined for the rest of the year due to her injury. So there were a lot of things that were out of Coach Tanisha Wright's control. But the one thing that I will say is that, you still have players like Alicia Gray, you still have players like even Maya Caldwell, ended up coming to the team late and everything. So there was still necessarily talent there, though. I mean, and I get it, obviously injuries can hold you back, but I do agree with Lo, them competing for the AC like that, they didn't even clinch to the last day of the regular season, which is kind of embarrassing, especially when you look at how good they were last year and you look and then you looked and saw the ceiling that they could have had this year. So it's just, I do believe that it was the right move. The question is, would she ever get another head coaching job? I don't think she would personally, but she could definitely be on being an assistant coach. That's my prediction.
You think she stays in the W or she tries to go to like college or something?
I think she stays in the W. I think somebody would pick her up and get her on their coaching staff.
So right now we have 3 vacancies, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The Sparks, Chicago, and Atlanta. So it's like, where are all these coaches coming from? Are they gonna bring new coaches into the pool? Because the NBA is also guilty of this, where they just go around the same pool of coaches, like they just pass them around, So I'm curious to see what the WNBA does with this. Like, is Brianne January gonna get a chance? Is she gonna get?
She should. She should actually go to Chicago. Like, if there's anybody that could replace Teaspoon, I feel like it would be Brianne January, just because I feel like she'll be able to have the locker room. And I feel like she'll be able to connect with Angel, Kennedy, Camilla, all those other players on a different level. Just my opinion. I've seen Kurt Miller, rumblings happening in Chicago. I don't believe that's necessarily like the thing about Kurt is that I don't think Kurt is good for a rebuilding team. And I think that's what we saw with the Sparks. I feel like Kurt needs to be in a situation where, they're not necessarily contenders, but they are moving ahead, and they could be a contender within the next maybe 2-3 years. So that's just my opinion.
Do you think
that's interesting?
It is, but you don't think she don't get a job at all in the W? You don't think she'll get another head?
Not a head coach. I don't know. I mean, just looking at how this season went and watching how Atlanta digressed and everything, and then of course everybody's been very critical of Tanisha. It's kind of difficult for me to see her possibly. I mean, I'm not saying that she won't, because if she does, I would definitely be happy. But it's just hard for me to see her get another head coach. I mean, if she does, I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna be over the next couple of years. It'll probably take a little while.
I can see that. I don't think it'd be like a right away she'll get hired again.
Right.
As that you brought up Teaspoon, you think Teaspoon gonna take a break, or she actually gonna take? I've heard her name rumored with. Now you didn't brought it up with the Dream. I'm pretty sure somebody else has brought it up, but you think one of them teams will actually look at her?
I mean, even aside from those names that we mentioned, like I don't know any other coaches on the market like that that'll be good enough.
Would they go to college?
And they might outsource and try something new.
Yeah,
college could be the only way. Honestly, if you're not gonna grab them from the W, and like Lo said, the NBA definitely has a track record of recycling. So I'm not saying they shouldn't recycle, but it's certain coaches I would like to see get another chance. Like,
I mean, the thing about it is that like if you're going to go for one of the college coaches to come to the W, then you got to get an elite coach. And to me, I think that's kind of hard. Like, like they're not getting done. That's not going to happen.
No.
All the top coaches they're not getting. So it's like, are you going to take a chance on a mid-level college coach, or are you going to take a chance on maybe like an old WNBA player that has transitioned to like somewhere on the coaching staff now? Like, so I mean, it's going to be very interesting. But you saw the uproar when Phoenix got Nate Tibbet You know, you saw people didn't like that because no one knew who the hell he was. And then he's a man in a women's league making the most money. Problematic.
That's super problematic for sure. I didn't know he was making the most money.
He makes the most. He makes the most money as a coach.
I had no idea. Yeah, that's problematic.
Yeah.
And you know, leagues don't like it happened in all leagues too, for sure. And I'm pretty, but like getting somebody you never heard of is just like, what is this? I don't know who
right.
Is like people ain't trying to. Everybody want, and that's why I guess that's why a lot of times teams will end up grabbing somebody, recycling them because they know we know who that is. They got a track record. But sometimes you need somebody without a track record that we don't know. Everybody got to learn each other, players and coaches. It's gonna be interesting to see where the dream goes. I know y'all both was saying y'all was shocked it wasn't, and then we get that news.
Yeah, I did.
Everybody was like, Teaspoon got fired before Tanisha.
Yeah. Right. Right after one season, but it's like it was shocking that she wasn't. Now here we are, so it's gonna be fun. The coaching carousel going on with 3 spots, and then you got expansion teams and shit coming in.
Do y'all think that we'll see anybody else get fired?
I'm trying to think of the other team.
They've been saying Dallas is. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Dallas's coach.
LT.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, LT.
Yeah, that team just.
She gave up on them in the chat. She said she's a Valkyrie now.
Did say that in the spaces.
Honestly, if we keeping it a buck, I've been talking about LT. I'm not saying she needs to get fired, but it's kind of same thing with Tanisha Wright in regards to some of the lineups look a little sketchy. Jay, someone say your mic keeps going in and out. But someone's lineups, I mean, her lineups look a little sketchy. They're too talented for the record that Dallas had. Like, and I get it. Yes, they were injured literally all season. I get it. But they still had too much talent to go out the way that they did.
Part of it's their fault too, though, because like they got rid of their point guards before the season, which is crazy. Like Crystal Dangerfield was out of there, Veronica Burton was out of there, and I'm like, who's going to be the point guard for the team?
Exactly. And then, but even look at LT in regards to Maddie Segrist. Look how long it took her to play her, and as soon as Maddie actually got time, she was hooping. Did we not forget that she was hooping in the NCAA tournament too? She was averaging like 30-some points. Yeah, she was cooking. So it's like when she came to the league, I thought that she would get an opportunity. And it just, I mean, yes, she was injured and stuff like that. But I feel like it took, if it wasn't for injuries this year, I don't think LT would play Maddie as much as she did. Look at Meg, not my team.
Not my team. It's crazy.
They did finish bad though. Like they finished the season like 1-9. They only had 9 wins. So it was just, I think, like y'all said, they're too talented for them to be where they are, bottom of the league like that. So I don't know. She might get fired, but I don't know how long before.
I think they're going to use injury as like, you know, oh, the whole team was injured this year. But speaking of Dallas, I know it's not your team, Meg, but Satu did post something that basically said she was re-signing with Dallas. So that should be a lot of stress off of the organization because everyone thought she was out of there. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that she's able to kind of get that off their backs and she can, you know, sign, they can go into the offseason and look to build a championship team. So yeah. And they'll have a good pick too. On a stacked team. Yes, I know Natasha Howard is out of there. But outside of her, like they still have a lot of, you know, people coming back. So we'll see.
Anything else on that shit?
Good, man. We can dive into some playoff talk, man.
Listen. We're gonna start with the Liberty. The Liberty.
Let me just go and say it. It's over. Friday, we're not seeing the Aces again after Friday night. I'm sorry. This is a team that I had 3-peating. New York is just better. They're just better.
You don't think they're going to still win?
Nah, not at this point. They needed to get one of those 2 games in New York to me. And I'll be.
So you think the Liberty are just going to go and close this out on Friday?
It's gonna be a sweep. I hate to say it. Like I said, I had the Aces 3-peating. I had them winning this series in 5.
That man went from.
Who said 5?
That man went from to a complete sweep. I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
I'm not gonna do a complete sweep. I will say I think Vegas get one. Vegas definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas gonna win Friday.
I need Asia to give us 40.
Man,
You
AJ
know
ain't
what?
getting
You
50
know
because
what's
Becky
crazy?
ain't making no adjustments.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So,
bro, 4 shot attempts in the first half for your MVP.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Like I said before, when we were together in Chicago on the podcast, I said Liberty in 4. I'm sticking to that.
I'm mad as hell, she right. Yeah.
I mean, and I think for me, the things that stuck out, I mean, it was obvious, like you said, Nick, the Liberty are just the better team. They are more stacked. They're deeper. So it's even like when the bench comes in, it's not like a drop off in talent. They're still good. Like when the bench comes in, you got Courtney Vandersloot who scored 12 points off the bench. You got KT who scored 9 points off the bench. And the Liberty, like I said, the Liberty are right now, it's between the Liberty and Minnesota, in my opinion, for the most complete teams. In regards to 1 to 12. So my takeaway from this game was a few things. The Liberty's defense has been absolutely smothering. Asia has absolutely been smothering everyone on the Aces team. Anytime Asia touches the ball in the paint, they're sending a delayed double. And so one thing I will say is that Asia in the offseason, one thing that she's going to 100% work on is passing out of a double team. She has to be more decisive with her decisions. When she's getting the ball, she's taking too long to make a decision. And it's
saying like she's decent at it, but she's not like great at it. You know
right.
what I mean?
So I think to me, one of the best passers out of the double team is also because she's 6'9" is Brittany Griner. She has improved tremendously passing out of the double team. So I think Asia is going to work on that. She's going to work on literally catching the ball and just going up and shooting. Like literally just catch the ball. Because if she was able to do that right now, they wouldn't have time to send a delayed double. So it's interesting to see the parts of her game that I know for a fact she's going to work on next year, or in the offseason. So that's number one. Asia can't get into any rhythm because they can't get her the ball in a good spot. When they get her the ball, she's either double or triple teamed. Okay. That's number one. So what Becky needs to do is get her more motion, have Asia bring the ball up, put the ball in her hands more, get her moving more. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what she's doing now is not working. So let's try new things. That's number one. So the defense was great. Points in the paint. The Liberty outscored them in points in the paint 44-24. Hard to win a game when you're getting outscored by 20 points in the paint. To be expected because the Liberty are lengthy, especially when they add Phoebus to the starting lineup. So it's kind of hard to combat that length because the Aces just don't have the bodies. But one thing that Becky can do is give Meg spot minutes, give Queen spot minutes. And we're not saying that they're going to contain JJ, but it's giving her a different look because Kia has been getting cooked. Like when she was out.
I forgot Queen was on the team. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm not saying she got to play 30 minutes a game. Give her 2-3 minutes here and there so you can give somebody a break. Like,
especially now with Kia's out. I think Kia's out next game, isn't she?
I mean, they said that she possibly had a concussion. So if she has a concussion, she's cooked next game. Yeah. So that's already another 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" body that's not out there on a team that's already small, right? So at least with Meg, so with Kia, they literally were not even guarding her. Like they were leaving her wide open because she wasn't even looking to score. She wasn't even looking at the basket. So at least with Meg, she'll stretch the floor. Meg will let that three fly. It might not go in all the time, but she will let it. She will at least keep them honest, keep the defense honest, make them at least come out and defend. And my last point on this is free throws. That's how they lost the game. I mean, they lost the game, a combination of everything. But they missed 7 free throws. They lost by 4 points. That's the game right there. What you got, Nick?
I agree with everything that you said. I just I need to highlight Sabrina Ionescu because she's been super incredible, not only just throughout these playoffs, but throughout the entire season. Like I think we've seen a lot of growth, and this is normally the time where stars are really defined. And I think Sabrina is definitely cementing herself as a star in this league. I mean, obviously everybody talks about her scoring 13 points in the fourth quarter last night, which was just incredible. But what I saw hustle plays. I saw her diving for the loose ball. I saw her playing the passing lanes and everything, just showing that effort and showing that will to win and just being able to lead the way. Because throughout the first half and like even the third quarter, I didn't think she was that spectacular, but somehow in the fourth quarter she just turned it up a notch. So Sabrina's definitely been the biggest X factor for them, at least in this series. To me, I know that Stewie had a strong performance in game one, but Liberty are not where they are right now, in my opinion, without Sabrina. Sabrina's been getting it done on both ends of the floor. And I love that adjustment by Sandy, which I talked about even like in one of the earlier episodes, how allowing her to play more point guard offense really opens up a lot of things because of her ability to put pressure on the defense with her attack. She can knock down 3-point shots. And on top of that, you know, especially with how well the Liberty move, like Stewie's one of the best off-ball movers, like at least in the league to me.
5
Like the
assists
way
in the first half yesterday.
Exactly, which is crazy. I mean, it's all Stewie backdoor, Stewie cutting off the slot cut or anything. Like the Liberty move the ball so well, and their players move so well. So like, you know, that's what makes it easy for a player like Sabrina to be able to get them in their spots. So Sabrina's been huge in this, not only like in this series, but throughout the playoffs as a whole.
I agree, and just to kind of piggyback on Sabrina, I've been very clear in my stance of where she stands this year. I think she should have made first team. I think
she's showing it.
I think she played well enough to make first team. I think because she got injured a little bit after the Olympics and her play fell off for just a few games. Like, I think people are thinking that the Olympics was like the midway point and it wasn't like smack dab in the middle. Like, they have 14 games left after the Olympics. Just in regards to Sabrina, I think yesterday she answered a lot of people's questions. This is the Sabrina that the WNBA wanted her to be when she first entered the league. Like, before she even, you know, got her feet wet in the league, this is who they thought she was. And I'm glad that this Sabrina has finally arrived. Like, she has been playing spectacular basketball. Like you said, 24 points yesterday, 5 assists, and 9 boards. 9 boards from your starting guard. Like, and then the last 7 points, she scored 5 of those points in the clutch. Like, she was making tough contested layups. Like, she literally was scoring in every which way. She was hitting them with floaters. She was hitting them off the dribble. She was shooting from 35 feet. Like, she was literally doing it any which way. And just shout out to her. I mean, what a hell of a year. Like I said, the numbers don't jump off the screen in regards to like most improved player. Shout out to Dejanay. But like, when you look at the eye test, you can tell that Sabrina is just much better than last year, period.
Much better.
And it's like we mentioned too, because like when you look at her numbers this year compared to like other years, like there's not like a huge jump. But when you're watching her on the floor, you see the confidence, you see the decision making and everything. So it's a big difference to me, at least from what we've seen, you know, in years past. I mean, she's definitely improved over the years. But I also want to say one thing too, because I see so many people on the timeline. It's like, okay, we all pretty much know that the Liberty are going to win this series, and obviously that means that the Aces are not going to be able to three-peat. But I think there's people out there that believe that just because they don't win this year, that their championship run is over. Like, no, like they're still gonna be contenders even after this year. Asia Wilson is only 28 years old and literally just entering her prime. Yes, they do have a lot of questions on what they need to do this offseason. I think that this offseason will be very important for them as far as getting more depth. And then, of course, you know, Kelsey Plum is a free agent, so we don't know what's gonna happen with her. But the Aces are still gonna be in the conversation as far as contention, even if they don't three-peat this year. Like, you look at Minnesota, like they won one year, lost the next year, came back, won again. So I mean, like, just because you don't win multiple years in a row does not mean that you're not going to be contenders. Like, to me, the Aces are going to be in that conversation next year. Then, of course, you know, in later years as well.
I agree, and I think kudos to the Liberty in general, because I've been hard on them for majority of the year because I don't feel like that they consistently played up to the level in which they could have played up to, in regards to effort, in regards to finishing games, in regards to execution. But so far this series, they have put belt to ass. Like, they have literally shown like why they were not the number one team this year. And I want to leave this with Liberty fans though. If the Liberty beat the Aces, which we all know is going to happen, right? Once they advance to the finals, if the Liberty do not win the finals, none of this shit matter, bro. Like, y'all went to the finals 5 times since your franchise has been in inception, since the WNBA's inaugural season, because New York Liberty, for all those that don't know, are one of the 8 teams that started the original teams, right? Y'all have been to the finals 5 times. You guys are 0-5 in the finals. New York has not won a basketball championship in the state of New York since 70 something. Like
Bill Jackson.
73 or 72. I was going to say 72, 72, 73. Y'all got to win. Like, this is it right here. Because if y'all don't win right now, this team looks a lot different next year. Like, I think Stewie only signed a one year deal. So I think, I want to say I don't know if it's Stewie or JJ. One of them only signed a 1 year deal. So one of them might be up out of there. Like, it's going to be a lot of moving parts. What is Sloop going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a lot of moving parts. So their time to win is now. So they have to capitalize on that. Like, yes, it'll be great to beat the Aces, like, but let's not act like that's the championship. Y'all got to go out and finish the job. What did Kobe say? Job's not finished. Job's not done. Like, period.
Hey, Nick, she's going to bring up Kobe and she's going to bring up Candace every time.
Kobe, Candace.
I definitely.
Period.
But no, that's a great point though. That is, I see a lot of people.
So you believe that there's gonna be some big changes this year if they don't win the title?
Absolutely, yes. Can they afford to bring everybody back? They can't. They took a pay cut for everybody to stay.
That's true, yeah.
And
I know Stewie was core this year, wasn't she?
Sabrina not Sabrina. I want to say Stewie signed a 1 year extension. So I'm gonna look it up while you're talking, Nick. But I just think that if they don't capitalize on this opportunity, it's going to look different next year. And as in regards to the Aces, I do believe that they'll still be in contention next year because at this point, if they get swept, they're gonna be embarrassed. So you can't go from almost repeating to getting swept. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna, Natalie, you should be on your phone right now trying to figure it out. Like, all y'all in the front office, this is a top-down issue or bottom-up, whichever way you want to say, because the issues really started in free agency and in the offseason when y'all didn't get nobody. Like, no disrespect to Meg and all the people that actually joined the team, but like when y'all didn't really go out there and get a big name because y'all had money. They had money for a max player. How don't you land somebody?
Can't be banking on Candace Parker for needs.
Championships. I thought people would be lining up to play with them.
That is true, yeah.
How come you couldn't land? I mean, and I get it. Like, people keep saying, oh, they didn't know Candace Parker was going to retire. Get that. But y'all still had a max deal. Y'all still had max.
On her, though.
Right. Not at 30.
Candace Parker's, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, it ain't like she's going to be playing like 30 minutes a night.
Exactly.
She was hurt last year. Well, how you going to be back on her for this upcoming?
People say, oh, but you're not taking it into consideration of Candace Parker retiring. No, I am. Like, I'm as a GM, as somebody that's in charge of a team, I'm never putting all my eggs in one basket for a 37-38. And this is me as Candace Parker being my favorite player of all time in the WNBA. Like, this is me saying that. You know, it just seemed crazy when they couldn't land anybody with max money. Mm-hmm. Just seemed crazy. So that's where it starts. Like, that's how I knew how the season was about to go. Like, that's how it starts. It starts there.
And they didn't even have, and they still be in a 4 seed, which is crazy. I've been seeing a lot of people on the internet, on Twitter, saying they feel like this Aces team don't like each other. And that's really what's.
Nah, that's not true at all.
I don't think that it is. Yes, people are gonna, when you've been with somebody for so long, you're gonna have disagreements. That's just any relationship. But I don't think this team is on a court and they don't like each other. Like, you can't fake the shit that's going on in the tunnel when they be going. You can tell if players don't like each other. And you've never.
They're just saying that, Jay, because last year KP said that the Liberty looked like they don't like each other. That's why people are saying that. Yeah, so KP said like, oh, you know, they don't really have chemistry. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but she basically was like, they don't have chemistry. Like, they don't really like each other. So now that they're losing, people are trying to say, oh, it looks like they're trying to be smartasses. Oh, it looks like they don't like each other. So that's why that's why when the players are talking to the media, they always like kind of emphasize like their team chemistry. And it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, like, you're overcompensating.
I'm gonna spotlight this. The number one Liberty are underdogs against the Aces. You should wonder why no one wanted to go there. Each other. I really wish y'all admit that this year was different.
What gives you the idea that they don't like each other, though?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what has changed? The reason why I think that's a poor assessment is because what has changed from last year to this year for them not to like each other? What has changed?
Like I never see them beefing. I think people are just making up things.
Wait, I
Like,
don't even hear any outside noises though. Like I
Exactly.
don't
You don't even hear
I don't
rumors.
exactly like
We're like, we don't even hear rumors. Y'all just making shit up. Like I
if it
understand,
was,
like Liberty fan and y'all on cloud nine, which you deserve to be. You deserve it, but y'all just making shit up at this point.
I think going before we move forward, I think if any time was something's gonna leak out was this whole thing with Becky and De'Erica. Like if shit was gonna leak out about them not like each other, that was the time. And shit still haven't came out about people beefing, none of that shit. So
and you know the whole state of like journalism and stuff too. Like you know they gonna like get on that type of news quick.
Man,
Like
what?
Aces, 2-time champs, Asia Wilson. Oh, should they beefing?
Absolutely. They're up for a three-peat. Like people are going to purposely try to get into that locker room because of that, right? So I just think that's a lazy assessment. And I just think that it's false. I think that people are undermining how difficult it is to three-peat in any sport. Like, I don't care if Chelsea was healthy from the beginning of the year. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, three-peating in any sport is difficult. That's why it doesn't happen often. That's why it's only happened one time in the WNBA. Like, and I think people aren't understanding that. They're like, oh, they're losing this year. They're not getting a three-peat. And it's like, I get it, but y'all do realize how hard it is to three-peat in the sport? Like, it's very difficult, clearly.
If you go back from like sports, like especially any WNBA or NBA, the teams that go through that third year, it's always some bullshit going on.
We literally watched The Last Dance. Like you saw how crazy that year was for them. Like there was so much stuff that was going on behind the scenes was crazy.
Yeah, like the fact the Bulls even won that second three-peat with all that bullshit going on in '98. Shout out to them for even doing that.
Even with the Comets, who is the only WNBA team to go 3 back-to-back, they did 4. They had adversity too. Kim Peratt passed away. Like it was plenty.
You lost a whole teammate to death.
Yeah, like you literally lost a whole teammate. Like so, adversity happens when you get to this level, and I'm actually sad that they're not going to 3P because I wanted to witness history. But I'm happy for Liberty fans because y'all desperately need some basketball success.
Lo just want to go to Vegas, y'all.
I'm not gonna hold you. Me, Jada, and Meg had already had it planned. If Vegas goes to the final, if Vegas was the championship, we was already gonna go to the parade. We already had it planned out since last year. So Vegas messed it up for me. But
I'll tell you this:
if New York wins, I'm closer to New York. I don't know if I would go to the parade because some of the fans are a little iffy. However, I will definitely be at the championship games.
They should. Well, they are going to be in it, but they should win. But on to who we think they might be playing between the Link and the Sun. They tied 1-1. Shout out to this.
This got to be the best series between the two. Man. Honestly,
yeah.
This series here.
It's chippy, boy.
I'm loving this chippiness. They hitting each other. They going back and forth. The Sun let them know, like, listen, you came in and stole game 1. What y'all gonna do? And I do like how Connecticut didn't like just bow down. I felt like they was trying to win game 2. I felt like they was trying to get the hell up out of there with 2 of them to go ahead and finish this shit in game 3 or 4. Nick, how you feel about this series so far, man?
Been a good back and forth series. It definitely has exceeded my expectations, and then of course, above expectations if you ask me. It's like you mentioned, Jay. Give credit to Connecticut. Win into game 1. I definitely did not expect them to come out with a win in game 1, but they were able to steal that one. Minnesota came back and they responded. Had a really
hold on. Did we all pick them to get swept? I think we did, didn't we?
I picked the Lynx in 4.
I picked the Lynx in 4 or 5. I can't remember now.
I know we all picked the Lynx. I don't know if we got them. So go ahead, Nick.
But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about.
My fault.
Hang on, I didn't say. Oh yeah, we were talking about the series. Minnesota ended up, responding in game 2, being able to get that win. Aside from just the basketball, like just the back and forth, it's just been like the more entertaining part of this whole series. Even like early in the first half of game 2, you saw Fee and Marina kind of, going back and forth. Even I was watching the fourth quarter and I'm watching like this low key matchup between Maisha Hines-Allen and Alyssa Thomas, and it's crazy because I'm watching the game. I got the TV on. I don't even hear the commentators acknowledging it. I'm like, yo, like, is nobody else catching this? Like, they're like battling. They're sending hard screens on one another, being very physical under the basket. I'll be real, like this is like legit playoffs to me. Like, this is elite playoff basketball to me. And it's just so fun to see both of these teams battling. So it's gonna get real interesting to see, how game 3 turns out. Obviously, with Connecticut being at home, can they find a way to protect their home court, be able to get that win? Can Minnesota find a way to steal one on the road, just like Connecticut did in game 1? So I'll be real. I mean, this series does have potential to go 5. I definitely see it happening. And if it does, it's gonna be a dope game 5. If it does happen.
Lo, before you get your comments, Lo, I will say this: the difference I know is between both series is that I feel like the Aces are gonna come back in the game against the Liberty. It never feels like the Aces is gonna win this game, either one of those games. But this other series, it definitely can go either way. Like, I'm just sitting there like, I don't know who's gonna win this shit. I don't know, but the other series is like, New York is gonna win this shit. This is not like we're hoping the Aces is gonna make a run and pull one out, but it don't feel like this series. Feel like this shit can really go 5, right? 5, right?
Yeah.
This series fucking go 5. Like, Lo, how you feel?
I mean, like Nick said, I think this is the more exciting matchup because it's not saying that the first matchup isn't competitive, but this is like you really don't know who's going to win the game. It's just whoever executes and gets stops at the end. I mean, I won't even say get stops because both teams are very defensive minded. And I think whichever team is more physical that night, more aggressive that night, and can knock down more shots is the one that typically wins. Because when you look at game 1 versus game 2, in game 1, Minnesota shot poorly from 3. They shot 25%. They lost the game. In game 2, Connecticut shot poorly from 3. They shot 25%, which is crazy that they both shot the same percent, but they lost the game. So the team that has the lesser shooting percentage typically wins the team that has a lesser shooting percentage typically loses the game because it's a lot of defense being played within these two teams. And that's understandable considering they both finished in the top 3 in regards to defense. I'm gonna go into a few players really quickly. Marina Mabrey, 20 points. She has been phenomenal for this team. She's exactly what this team needed. Someone that's not scared to shoot, someone that can let it fly, and someone that can hit tough shots. She adds a little bit more swag to their team as well in regards to like chippiness. Not that they weren't already chippy, but she just adds a different type of arrogance and swag to their team, right? Love it. I love it. Like when her and K-Mac got into it yesterday, the Notre Dame crime, absolutely loved it. Because that's how I know, like, this shit really means something to y'all. Like, y'all really are competing. Like, although that they went to the same school, doesn't matter. Like, at this point in time, we are literally we're trying to fight for a championship. So I love that about that. Alyssa Thomas, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Again, flirting with a triple-double, doing Alyssa Thomas things. But on the Minnesota side, which stuck out to me was Fee didn't have a great shooting night. She was 3 for 14. But the one thing I do like about her is even when she doesn't shoot well, she knows how to involve herself in other areas of the game. So she also grabbed 12 rebounds. So that's my issue with a lot of guards, particularly in the WNBA. If they're not scoring, they don't know what else to do. Like they don't contribute in any other way. Whereas Fee has literally made herself into a 3-level scorer and just a full all-around basketball player. Like she plays great defense, clearly defensive player of the year. And on the offensive end, like I said, she can hit from three different levels. So it also just shows how deep Minnesota is as a team. Your best player only scores 9 points and y'all still win. Like this shows. We can't talk about Courtney Williams enough. Like 17 points. How great does she look transitioning from playing a shooting guard to the point guard? Like, I think she got to stay in the point guard role, to be honest. Like, she's out there just doing the damn thing. Like, 4 assists, 5 boards. Like, I know she does not like to play point guard or she doesn't like to be deemed a point guard, but I mean, she
so good.
She does. And it's like any team that Courtney Williams goes to, they succeed in a sense. Like, she plays well. So I think it was a great grab in the offseason to get her. It's also with Alana Smith. She had 15 points last night and 6 boards, shooting 75% from the field. So it just shows that this team is so well rounded that even when their best player only scores 9 points, they can still come out and win game 2.
Imagine if Asia only scored 9 points.
Man, the app, Twitter, any type of social media would go up in flames.
No, they were getting on her last night because of that last drive, that layup that she missed. They were mad at her about that. Talking about she airballed it. Like what? Like John Cole, like right there.
First of all, the angle. The angle was bad. That's number one. Right. Then secondly, it's hard, and people don't understand because a lot of people aren't athletic and did not play sports. But it's honestly hard to understand. Like for Asia, right? The fact that she still had 24 and 7. And they were barely getting her the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she literally had 24 points and they could barely get her the ball.
She shot like around like 60% too.
Exactly. So my whole point in saying that is when you're used to getting the ball consistently and then it's disrupted because you're getting double and triple teamed, your rhythm is off. So at the end of the game, she's not in a rhythm because she was not getting the ball the first half. She only had 4 shots the first half. And then the second half, they got her the ball more. But honestly, she was really getting her points from like putting rebounds back. I'm like, the best player in the world got to get her points from putting the rebound back in.
Insane.
That's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. And I blame Asia for not telling Becky, hey, you need to put me in something else. Like, when you're the best player on the team, you go to your coach. Fuck the coach, honestly. Excuse my French, but fuck the coach. Like, I'm on the floor telling Chelsea, clear out. I'm taking
the motherfucking ball.
Right. Pretty much, right? Like, Phil Jackson could be over there calling whatever. You see Kobe going like this. Anytime he go like this, ISO. Like,
get the fuck out the way.
I don't care what you're talking about. Like, if I get this bucket, the coach ain't gonna care either, right? So I'm giving Asia a little bit of blame, but I'm giving majority of the blame on Becky. You gotta adjust, baby. You gotta adjust. You got to.
Right.
Yeah, and I definitely saw you say that Becky was getting cold like a motherfucker. We skipped right. We went right back to the damn Asian.
I was trying to transition back to this other series.
Go ahead, Dick. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is that to me, I think this series probably should come down to who has more depth, and I think that's gonna be on Minnesota's side. Like when you talk about the rest of the supporting cast, like all the names that Lo mentioned, Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, Kayla McBride, they have such a great supporting cast. Like Lo said, I mean, Fee did not have a good shooting performance at all, but they were still able to shoot a really good percentage, from the field and still be able to get higher percentage shots. And Connecticut's, of course, they're good. We know that they're dogs. We know that they're great defensively. But that is the question of, do they have enough depth and do they have enough scoring power to overcome a team like Minnesota?
Yeah.
Who y'all got for game 3? Oh, my fault. Go ahead. My fault.
For me, I think it comes down to like who can hit more shots because both teams are great defensively. So it's who can hit more shots and who can protect the ball more. So I think it goes to 5. And as far as Jay, like you said, for game 3, I'm going with Connecticut's at home.
Tough.
It's tough, man. My heart says Minnesota, so I'm gonna stick to. I think Minnesota steals one.
Who you got, Nick?
As crazy as it is, even though I did pick Minnesota in 4, I'm picking Connecticut game 3. Now, I still think that Minnesota will win the series. I think that they'll probably come back and win games 4 and 5. But I think with Connecticut being back at home, they're gonna feed off of that energy, being back on their home floor, and they're gonna find a way to win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Connecticut to win game 3 because I definitely want to see how Minnesota's gonna respond being down 2-1.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Down 2-1.
Yes, I definitely. Real quick though, who's the harder matchup for the Liberty?
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Because Connecticut can't keep up with scoring with them. That's the hard part.
Yep, that's definitely the hard part for sure. So I wouldn't want to say it's going to be a sweep if we get to that point, but Minnesota and Liberty would definitely be the one. I'm pretty sure everybody wants.
Sure. It's crazy. Like this is actually the only series so far in the playoffs where both teams got to win because all the first rounds were sweeps, and then the Liberty and the Liberty's up 2-0 on the Aces.
Damn.
Yep, you're right.
I didn't even think about that. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. Anything else on this game? I don't think I have nothing else on this game. I'm just ready for game 3 at this point. It's been so much fun.
I really wish the W would have just had like one game today, the other series their game the next day. Like I don't know, I don't know why.
Yeah,
they
why
do it, like,
both on the
back to
same
back.
day? Yeah, be on
Because,
the
like,
same
I'm gonna be
day.
honest, I didn't even finish watching the Connecticut game to this morning. I fell asleep last night. I had to go back, rewind it. It was so annoying. Like, just put the game. It's too late. Like, just put the games on one day at a time, like you said, Nick. One game at a time.
Especially when you got 4 teams left. You only need one game
Right.
a night. You don't need both.
Exactly.
Like, what we doing? You just need one game. Just keep it going like that. You got people.
I mean, shit. That's what they do in the NBA when it's the conference finals. The East one day, the West the next day.
Yep. So I'm with you on that. So me, you got the Connecticut for game 3, right? And Low got Minnesota for game 3.
See, this is
Low can't keep being right, man. She can't keep being right.
I think that Minnesota is definitely going to steal a game while they're in Connecticut.
Oh, they definitely should. If they don't, I mean, they're going home.
Yeah, they have to.
They get no choice. So I definitely don't want to see them. I just want to see them when they back to the wall and see how they're gonna respond.
Because you saying you think Minnesota gonna win 4 and 5. Okay, I'm going. I'm confident. I'm going Minnesota.
Don't switch now.
And don't switch on this.
Minnesota. I initially said I was just trying to think. Connecticut is at home, but I'm still going mini.
So enough of the news that's on the court. We got some off the court news that happened, or I guess you can call it on the court and off the court. The expansion draft is December 6th.
Yes.
And we saw the rules basically like you can protect 6, right? I had it pulled up. I should have kept it pulled up. But you only can protect 6 players. So I mean, how y'all think that shit gonna go? I'm actually excited to see how this is gonna play out.
I'm pissed that they're not releasing the names that the organization shows, because in every other sport that does it this way, they do that.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. Why have y'all heard why they not?
Their feelings hurt. The players gonna be salty if your team ain't pick you.
Yeah, but you gotta
get
that. I get that as a competitor, but sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna go keep 6, you gotta think, where were you on this rotation? Hey, if you wasn't in that top 6 a lot of the time, you're not gonna be safe unless and I know age is gonna come into play with that shit, but I'm actually excited to see how this is gonna go on who's gonna be kept and who is it just the Valkyrie, right? Just the Valkyrie's gonna do
for next year. So let me just read some of the rules, Jay, for
go ahead.
A lot of people don't know about it. So of course, Golden State Valkyries, they're gonna have an expansion draft, like Jay said. It airs on I think ESPN or ESPN2, can't remember which one, but it's December 6th. And again, like Jay said, Golden State gets to acquire the contract or rights of one available player from each of the 12 teams. So each team, like each organization, gets to keep, like, I guess, save, for lack of a better word, 6 players that are off limits. Yeah. And then the Valkyries get to choose at least, one person from each team. If a player is not under contract for 2025 is selected, the Valkyries will receive whatever rights to them the existing team would have had. So Golden State can select one player who is eligible to become an unrestricted free agent, given that player has not previously been cored for 2 or more seasons. That player can then be cored by Golden State in January ahead of free agency. So like a player like, I don't think anyone in the WNBA has been cored at least twice this year. I mean, twice in their history of playing in the league. So like, for example, like Elena Deladon was cored this year by the Mystics. So let's just say next year she was cored by the Mystics again. And in, the following year, let's say she wants to play for the Toronto team. She could, because she would be exempt because she has already been cored twice. And court is similar to, you're a football fan, so it's similar to like a franchise tag, Jay. So it'll be interesting. They still haven't released the information regarding on where they fall in the draft order. So I think that's the most interesting part to me. Like, yes, it's cool that you got to save 6 players, but the whole like placement in regards to draft is what's the most interesting part to me. So yeah, also I just wanted to circle back around to Breanna Stewart. She is a unrestricted free agent in 2025. That's why I said that it might get a little funky in New York if they don't make make shit shake this year because
they don't like when Low be right.
Definitely. I mean, if you think about it, it's a lot of, free agents that Golden State can have their pick on. We got Natasha Howard, who clearly says she ain't coming back. AT is a free agent. Kelsey Mitchell, Stewie, NECA. I think NECA stays though in Seattle. DB, KP. Satu says she's staying. You got BG, Aerial Powers. I mean, so it's a lot of, it's talent here. Mo Billings, I think she met Kennedy Carter. I mean, she's a restricted free agent, I think. Yeah. But it's talent. Does Kennedy want to stay in Chicago after they let her girl, go? So it's so many things. It's so many moving parts. This is a good year for Golden State to be in this position because it's a lot of names that could help, solidify that franchise.
Mm-hmm. It is. How you feel about it, Nick?
It's gonna get interesting, man. It's gonna get very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be real. Like, I don't really know exactly how the expansion draft actually works. I wasn't able to watch the one in 08, when the Atlanta Dream had was the last team to do it. So it's still kind of something that I'm trying to learn about and educate myself. But I know that there's a lot of names out there that many people do project. Like, even for instance, like Kelsey is an unrestricted free agent. A lot of people expect her to potentially be a Valkyrie. That's still up in the air. But I think it'd be dope, honestly. I think it'd be dope for them to have this draft, to of course, pick players that they believe could be right for the team. And, I think it's really important to really set the tone for that first season. So it's going to be really important for them to gather all the right pieces for that team.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I like seeing shit like this.
But even if they do bad, they'll probably get a top pick the following year.
Yeah, 2026.
That's not a bad draft class either.
Definitely not. That might be the one you want to be in. Well,
man, no, it's 27. That's when Juju.
27. Yeah, that's the
26 and 27.
Good too. 26 is good too, but that's when Juju, Hannah, Fort Wiley, that's when all them spectacular freshmen come out, or they're not freshmen.
Where Juju go, I go.
Man, you know how that go.
One band, one sound. Part.
Go y'all think I'm talking about Candace Parker a lot? Y'all better not let Juju be what I think that she can be. Because if she becomes what I think she can be, y'all gonna be sick of me.
Yep.
I'm already getting my credentials ready so I can.
That's how I met a lot of people in the W. When I was like Caitlin. When I was like, Juju is a better scorer than Caitlin. That's how I met a lot of people. Because when I said that after when she dropped 52 against Stanford, I'm like, yo, she's the best scorer, bro.
I know for a fact that they cooked you, boy. I already know.
I know them.
Oh my! If they cook me for my Rakia take, I know for a fact.
Bro, when they both was in college, but I was like, yo, she is that. Her wiggle is different.
Listen, I know we're not talking about college basketball, but if we're keeping it a beam, right? If we're keeping it a beam, the ability to score the basketball, who's better?
Juju. Most definitely.
Juju. Okay. She don't need a listen, she don't need a screen. I mean, I know she's not in the league. She's not in the league, but she don't need a league now. She don't need it.
I really want to go there, man. If we're talking about as far as putting the ball in the basket, creation and everything, I got Paige 2 ahead of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it at all.
I'm not mad at it. We know you gotta know what you're watching.
Better defender too.
I mean, people forget Paige was the golden child.
Paige was Caitlyn before Caitlyn knew she was Caitlyn.
But see the thing, that's what people don't know though.
Because Paige got injured. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all. And I'm glad you brought Paige up. We can finish off the night with this. The shit going on with Asia. I actually try to. If I got it. If people don't know, Nick, explain what's going on while I find this clip real quick.
I honestly don't really know what's going on. I can basically paraphrase. So basically, there was a clip that resurfaced on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. It was from, I believe, the Final Four this past year. So that was
Elite Eight, one of the two.
Yeah, either way, it was around April time. So 5-6 months ago. Why did it resurface? I don't know. I guess somebody got mad. They found an old Asia clip, and basically Asia's talking to Kelsey Plum, and she's basically telling Kelsey how her and Paige, they're star. I can't remember exactly what Asia said, but I think she said something like they were stars because of the white privilege or something like that. And I think people kind of took it the wrong way, as if Asia just saying like, oh, they're only good or they're only popular because they're white.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's what she was trying to say, but obviously everybody saw that video, then of course took offense to it and everything. Like, it's just always something, man. Like every day there's an argument about something. Like
it's never about here. It is. It's never about shit on the court ever.
Never.
Here you go. There you go.
Reminds me a lot of you, and I mean that's a compliment.
Oh damn, my fault. I just started it over. There we go. There we go.
Like, you say it's not really about me. And she knows her privilege got her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball. Like, she understands her privilege. Yeah. She's over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
Yo, I remember
honestly, hang on, just real quick.
seeing-
Just real quick. I mean, just listening to that clip, like, it makes you realize, like, could you really blame Asia for saying that when you look at everything that Asia has accomplished throughout her whole basketball journey, and she's still in many ways getting overlooked?
Turn it up a little bit louder, Nick.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Low.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Asia's done so much, not even just in the W, but in college. She won a national championship in college.
Yeah. She has a shaking statue.
Exactly.
Into her prime and has a statue.
Exactly. And then you got people saying she's not marketable. Come on, man.
Yeah, because they talking about she's a big. She's talking about she's a big and not marketable. This ain't the damn NBA. You know what I'm saying? But still, but a big can still be marketable. Like, I wasn't even going to call her that. She's just a taller woman playing basketball. She could definitely be marketable. And she in Vegas.
Asia's marketable. Angel Reese is marketable. Biggs are marketable.
You told me Biggs can't sell shoes. Shaq was selling that Payless.
Man, Shaq was big. He was them Shaqanoids, big ass shoes. And he was definitely selling them.
Selling. Never. Come on now. Stop.
Man, Ace got a pair of Giannis's right now in his closet. You don't know they Giannis, but he got it.
But no, I think this is just another example of people hating Asia's greatness and trying to just figure out a way to diminish what she's done this season. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. She quite literally said, obviously she's good at basketball. Like, so she's not taking away from her skill set saying white, so she's been catapulted to this level. If that was the case, then every white girl that can dribble would be catapulted to that level. That, like, logically. So this is my thing. Like, sometimes I don't know if people are just saying stuff because they truly believe in their heart, or if you're really just that damn dumb. And if you're really just that damn dumb, I honestly feel bad for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel bad for you because, like, why didn't God sprinkle a little bit of intelligence on you? You know what I'm saying? Or were you
ran out of that?
You know what I'm saying? So she literally said, obviously she's good at basketball. So for people saying that, oh, she's only good because she's white, like, that's what Asia meant. No. And then it goes a step further, because this is why context matters. Literally, KP was on Twitter, and I'm paraphrasing all of this. She was on Twitter, and I think it was either ESPN or I don't even want to give credit to the source that I think she quoted, because they say negative things about Asia, so I'm not going to even shout them out. However, it was a source that she quoted, and basically KP was saying she unfollowed. It was either the WNBA or ESPN because she felt like they only prop up her because she's white, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said it. It's a lot of amazing Black women in the league that deserve credit, but y'all only prop me up because I'm white, so I'm unfollowing you now. So she unfollowed them.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it? I think it's Just Women's Sports or something like that.
Yes, that trash ass network, or whatever they want to call it. So yes, them.
What she said.
So them, yes. So she told it. Okay, so she told them that, and that same network has, like, called Asia's logo trash and been, just downgrading her.
I had no idea.
What women are y'all supposed to be for? Is it only a certain demographic of women? Is it women that look like me? Because it don't seem like that's the case. Anyways, KP said that. And so as a rebuttal later on, we're literally hearing insight from a personal conversation. Like, this is a conversation between people who have been teammates for multiple years. This is a conversation from people who have been in intimate settings together. I'm sure Asia is helping KP alongside of this divorce that she's going through, like real life personal problems outside of basketball. Like, these people care about one another. So you think KP is really going to sit here and be disrespected? Like, if she felt like it was disrespectful, it was nothing disrespectful about that conversation. And the problem is people don't like to have the conversations. People don't like to have the tough conversations because you start feeling guilty about what your ancestors did. Let's keep it a buck if we're being serious, right? If we're going to go there, let's go all the way there. Right?
You get.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Like, I just feel like it wasn't an offensive comment. I feel like if Asia said, the only reason you are where you are is because you're white, that's different than what she said. She said, I'm grateful for players like you and Paige because you use your white privilege platform to uplift the black players that don't get that same notoriety. And it's nothing wrong with that because it's an actual fact. It's literal. Asia has had the best outside of Bill Russell, because people were on my ass about that. Asia has had the best 7 years starting career out of any basketball player in the history of basketball. Okay. And some people said Kobe because he won 3 back-to-back. It wasn't. It's not. It's different. It's not the same. And I have a Kobe shirt on. I'm Kobe's biggest fan. Like, literally, it's levels. It's different. Okay. Asia's doing shit that no one's ever done before, and she literally just got a shoe. So you can't tell me that privilege is not a thing. And that's all. That's all I got to say for it. People just aren't. People just don't like to be told facts, I guess is the best way to put it.
No, that is.
That's kind of crazy how like people be all on the internet disrespecting like historic basketball, but now all of a sudden motherfuckers want to defend Bill Russell. Fuck out of here. Now all of a sudden y'all just want to start. Excuse me. Now all of a sudden y'all want to defend Bill Russell, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, stop playing with me, man.
Listen, boy was heated in my comments. Like,
Bill Russell.
Look at he sent me a whole screenshot of Bill Russell's first couple years. And I'm like, okay, and was you there? Like, I'm here.
Exactly.
Man, Bill Russell, man. Listen, don't get me shout out recipes of Bill Russell, but I'm never going. It's hard to put him in those type of categories, situations, those conversations for me because how the league was at that time.
Exactly.
To me,
and
it's not the same.
Disrespect to how the league was. Like, you play who's in front of you. You can't help who's in front of you, right? But honestly, let's use context. Come on now. Like, if we're talking about, when people talk about the best players ever to play the game of basketball, they talk about LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe. None of those 3 players, and we can throw Magic in there. None of those 3 players. Right. So none of those 4 players have had a better starting career than Asia, period. Like, but like, people literally had to go back 40, 50 years to say Bill Russell. Come on now. If that's the best you could do, you had to go back 30, 40, 50 years. Come on now, stop.
Yeah, they went back definitely 60 years damn near to even pull this shit out their ass. And he probably had to go to Basketball Reference.
You're right. Actually, I'm 30 something, so that would have been the 80s. That would have been the 90s. Yeah, you're right. About 40, 50, 60 years.
Come on now. What are we doing? That is crazy. I just hate how, especially when it comes to, just sports in general now, it's more conversations about the shit that's going on outside of the court or the field. Shit people are making up, and it's never about the play that's on the court. It's never about that. It's always we had good playoff series, good games, and then the next day we're talking about this. This shouldn't even be on our radar. Like, this shouldn't even be happening.
Most arguments ever on the court. Nobody argues about stuff that's going on the court at all. They never argue about nothing.
If it is on the court, they arguing about a hip check or a poke in the eye, an accidental poke in the eye. Like, that's the kind of shit they're talking about. Like,
no, you ain't lying.
Like, let's talk about hoops, bro. Like, this is why we're here to watch. We're here to watch basketball. Let's talk about hoops. Like, it's just so sickening to me because on the men's side, we don't yes, they talk about things off the court, but it's really about basketball. Hey, did you see Bron drop 30 last night? Hey, did you see Ant do this move? Like, did you see Ant dunk on, whoever the case may be? Like, we're talking actual basketball. We're not talking BS that they always focus on in WNBA. And it sucks because it's a good product, bro. Like,
it's a really good product.
These women can really hoop, and it's overlooked because of all the drama and the BS, and it's just sickening. It's sickening. And Sue Bird said it best. I don't listen to her podcast, but I saw a clip. I'm going to listen to her podcast.
We were just talking about it before we got on.
She literally said it like, go watch it. But she literally made the exact point that you're making, Jay, in reference to like, we're not even talking basketball. Look how great of a season it was this year. Caitlin breaking records, Angel breaking records, Asia breaking records. Like, a lot of people had really good years this year, and we're talking about hip checks. We're talking about poking in the eye. We're talking about death threats. Like, what are we doing? Like, we really lost it. Like,
racism galore, just everywhere. It's just dumb. Like how we talking. Exactly, it's so dumb. And like you think about like the shit that go on in the NBA, like it's always stupid shit going on off the court in the NBA. Like people get their jokes off on Twitter and commentators will talk about it, but that'd be the end of it. Once the show get going, they talking about games. Like they don't even talk about Draymond be knocking people's heads off, and they barely talk about that shit after a couple of days. Like
it's just all memes.
Stomped on Sabonis chest, punches on teammate in the face, like choked out Gobert. Like come on, like. But we talking about an accidental poke in the eye. He literally had homeboy in a chokehold, a 7 foot in a chokehold.
He's slipping in there. Oh my God.
Yeah, we black. Y'all see it. We can say it.
All right. I don't like to use it.
We don't like using the word on here. We're trying to build a brand. That's what.
But no, like back to the whole Asia video. Like I said earlier, like this whole situation took place in April. Nobody talked about it. We are in October, early October. Now all of a sudden y'all want to bring it up. Y'all didn't have nothing to say whenever the video or whenever that situation first happened. Now all of a sudden y'all want to bring it back up. It's crazy.
Insane, and it's just annoying. We had to talk about it because it's just annoying. We are Asia fans. We're hoop fans, and it's just we want to talk about hoops. Like I like getting jokes off. I like laughing. I like people getting jokes off. Bringing up old shit, but this is dumb. This is like you really picking a fight. You're not even like
I said, I've been watching since '97. This might have been the worst like experience in watching the game that I love. Like, and I thoroughly love. Like, I legitimately eat, sleep, and dream basketball. But it's been rough. Like this season has honestly been rough because of the things that are outside of the basketball court. Like the things that are off the court. It's just been rough, and it's like. It's really taken away from the game that these women love, the game that these women practice hard, blood, sweat, and tears. They put blood, sweat, and tears in this. Like you see, what the season just ended for Gabby Williams last week. She already oversees her, Tina Charles,
Dana Evans,
all of them. They already playing. Bro, the season ended last week for them. Like these women put their blood, sweat, tears, their childbearing years into this game.
That is.
Talking about poking in the eye and hip checks, bro. Come on, stop.
Man, could you imagine if somebody did some shit Draymond did this year?
They would have hung nooses around outside of the stadium. That's what they would have did. If any of the players acted if any of the players, let's use Caitlin because that's the one that they love to cape for. Let's say hypothetically a player like stomped on Caitlin like he did to opponents, right? Oh, good luck.
That man better, she better hire some security.
Good luck. All right,
there's no way that W could have had somebody like Draymond running around acting like that this season. Especially not this season. But anything else before we get up? We almost at an hour 20. Nice little show. Y'all got anything before you want to get up out of here?
Low ready for bed.
You know it. I didn't take my either.
She finna get up to 3 a.m. and she taking the melatonin.
1 o'clock. But yeah, I don't have anything else. I'm looking forward to game 3 for both series. And that's really all I got. Hopefully the Aces can push it to a game 5 so I can go to Barclays and watch it. But outside of that, I doubt that that's not gonna happen. But that's all I got.
The Liberty fans better hope that shit don't happen.
They're gonna start getting deja vu.
Listen, it's gonna get tight if they gotta go back to Game 5 in Brooklyn. You don't want that.
Yeah, I doubt that, but we'll see.
I doubt it too, but if you don't want that at all, we probably will be doing. We're gonna finalize it. When we finalize it, we're gonna let y'all know. We're gonna probably do another playback this Friday night. I don't know which game. Probably might be the later game. Who knows? Probably so, but we'll let you.
The Aces game will probably be a little bit better because they are on the verge of getting swept.
Oh yeah, that would be the better one to do. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, but that'd be the one. So we'll definitely put that shit out for y'all. Let y'all know so y'all be ready for that. I know y'all gonna come show out for show. Nick, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Nothing really, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Appreciate all the supporters, man. 10 episodes in, whole lot more to go.
Like, subscribe, all that.
It's crazy that we had 10 already. First episode of October. It's been fun. Yeah, like, subscribe, follow everywhere, share like y'all been doing. Comment. We always gonna comment back. Don't be too mean. If you are mean, we're gonna be meaner. Believe that. You go low,
we go lower.
You go low, I go to hell.
That's right. Every single time. Every single time. Till next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. Or you will see y'all Friday though.
Yes.
It's Nick, Andre, that's Low. That's me, Jay. We out.